Scene script. Have you ever wondered why we make the decisions we do? What drives our choices? And how does our brain process options? Every single day we find ourselves at the crossroads of decision-making. Whether it's choosing what to wear, deciding what to eat, or determining our career path, decisions shape our lives. But have we ever stopped to ponder the enigma of decision-making? The intricate processes our brain undertakes to arrive at a conclusion. It's a fascinating journey, one that we'll embark on today. We all like to believe we're rational beings, our decisions guided by logic and reason, but is that always the case? Not quite. Our decision-making process is a complex interplay of rationality and emotion, a delicate dance between the head and the heart. And sometimes our decisions may seem irrational to others, yet make perfect sense to us. Why is that? It's because our choices are also influenced by our unique experiences, beliefs, and values. Understanding our decision-making process is not just an intellectual exercise, it's a crucial step towards self-awareness and personal growth. It helps us make better choices, avoid potential pitfalls, and navigate life with greater confidence. It's like having a roadmap to our mind, a guide to help us understand why we make certain choices and how we can make better ones. Today, we will delve into the heart of decision-making. We will explore the concepts of rational and irrational decision-making, understand the role emotions play in our choices, and unravel the impact of biases on our decisions. The world of decision-making is an enigma, a mystery that we're on the cusp of unraveling. It's a journey that promises to be exciting and enlightening, one that will give us a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, are you ready to embark on this fascinating journey? To delve into the labyrinth of your mind and unravel the secrets of your decision-making process? Let's dive deeper and uncover the mysteries behind our decisions. Scene script. First, consider the rational decision-making process. This is when we meticulously weigh the pros and cons before making a decision. Imagine you're buying a car. It's not a decision to take lightly, right? The rational decision-making process begins with identifying the problem or need. In this case, the problem is simple. You need a new car because your old one just isn't cutting it anymore. Next, you gather information. You research various car brands, models, prices, and reviews. You might even talk to friends or family for their opinions. This is all about gathering as much relevant information as possible to make an informed decision. Now, you've got a wealth of information at your fingertips. It's time to evaluate your alternatives. You create a short list of potential cars based on your research. You consider each car's pros and cons, comparing factors like price, fuel efficiency, safety features, and so on. Then comes the decision. After careful consideration, you pick the car that best fits your needs and budget. It's a rational, logical choice made after a thorough analysis of all available alternatives. But wait, we're not done yet. After making the decision, you have to implement it. You go to the dealership, negotiate the price, and drive your new car home. Finally, you reflect on your decision. Was the car worth the price? Did it meet your expectations? This is the stage of evaluation where you assess the results of your decision. If the car turned out to be a lemon, you might decide to approach your next car purchase differently. The rational decision-making process is a systematic and thoughtful approach to decision-making. It's like a roadmap guiding you through the complex landscape of choices, helping you arrive at the best possible decision. The rational decision-making process seems straightforward, but what happens when emotions get involved? Now, let's look at the emotional decision-making process. This is when our feelings and instincts guide our choices. Imagine you're choosing a romantic partner. It's not always about who fits the checklist of traits you've created in your mind. Sometimes, it's about who makes your heart race and your palms sweat. This is the emotional decision-making process in action. It's a visceral, often subconscious response that drives us towards certain outcomes and away from others. Our emotions are powerful forces. They can catapult us into euphoria or plunge us into despair. And when it comes to decision-making, they can be our greatest allies or our most formidable foes. Consider the feeling of love. It's intoxicating, exhilarating, and can make us feel invincible. But it can also cloud our judgment. When we're in love, we might overlook red flags, ignore advice from friends, or make impulsive decisions that we might regret later. This is because love, like other strong emotions, can hijack our rational thinking and lead us to make decisions based purely on how we feel in the moment. Fear is another emotion that heavily influences our decisions. It can prevent us from taking risks, trying new things, or pursuing our dreams. Fear can make us choose the safe, familiar path over the uncertain, unknown one. It can make us settle for less than we deserve because we're too afraid to reach for more. But emotions aren't always misleading. Sometimes they're the most reliable compass we have. They can guide us towards what truly matters to us, what makes us happy, and what fulfills us. They can help us make decisions that align with our core values and beliefs. So how do we navigate this complex interplay of emotions and decisions? It's about balance. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding their influence, but also recognizing their limitations. It's about using our emotions as tools to inform our decisions, but not letting them control us. Emotions play a significant role in our decision-making process, but they are not the only factors. Bias is another factor that can significantly influence our decisions. But how does it work? Let's dive into this fascinating topic by using a real-life case study: hiring a candidate for a job. Imagine a hiring manager looking at two identical resumes. One belongs to a John and the other to a Jane. Despite the identical qualifications, John is chosen for the role. This is an example of gender bias, where decisions are influenced by stereotypes about genders. Next, let's consider the halo effect, another common type of bias. It's when a single positive trait of a person influences your overall perception of them. Suppose a candidate has graduated from a prestigious university. The hiring manager might overlook potential weaknesses because this one positive attribute casts a halo over everything else. Another type of bias is the confirmation bias. This comes into play when the hiring manager subconsciously seeks information that confirms their existing beliefs about a candidate. For instance, if they think a candidate is not a good fit, they might focus on the negative aspects of their interview, ignoring the positive points. Then there's the anchoring bias. This happens when the hiring manager relies too heavily on the first piece of information they receive about a candidate. For example, if the first applicant they interview sets a high standard, they might compare all subsequent applicants unfavorably to that first one. And finally, there's the availability bias. This occurs when decisions are based on information that's readily available, rather than a complete set of facts. For example, the hiring manager might be influenced by a recent news article about a candidate's alma mater, rather than considering their individual qualifications and experience. As we can see, biases can significantly skew our decision-making process, often leading to unfair decisions. Yet by being aware of these biases, we can take steps to mitigate their influence, leading to more informed and fair decisions. Bias is a complex aspect of our decision-making process, yet understanding it can help us make better decisions. So the next time you're making a decision, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, is bias influencing my choice? In understanding our decision-making processes, we can make more informed and rational choices. This is the essence of our exploration today. Let's take a quick jaunt down memory lane and summarize the main points we've delved into. We started by unraveling the enigma of decision-making. It's not just a random pick from the hat, it's a complex process, influenced by a myriad of factors, both conscious and subconscious. Then we delved into the rational decision-making process. We learned that it's a systematic, step-by-step process, grounded in logic and reason. We start by identifying the problem, then generate and evaluate possible solutions, and finally, make a choice. Sounds simple, right? But we also discovered that it's not always that straightforward. Next, we explored the emotional decision-making process. We realized that our emotions are powerful driving forces behind our choices. They can push us to take risks or make us play safe. They can lead us to the right decision or steer us astray. But the key takeaway is that emotions are not our enemies. They're an integral part of us, and we just need to understand and manage them effectively. We also touched upon the role of bias in decision-making. We learned that our brains often take shortcuts, leading to biases that can skew our decision-making process. These biases can be conscious or unconscious, but being aware of them is half the battle won. In conclusion, decision-making is a complex interplay of rationality, emotions, and biases. By being conscious of these elements, we can make more informed and rational decisions. We can gain control over our choices and avoid falling into the trap of biases or emotional impulsivity. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, remember to take a step back, assess the situation, and consider all these factors. By understanding our decision-making processes, we can gain control over our choices and enhance our decision-making skills. It's not just about making decisions, it's about making the right ones. And that, dear listeners, is a skill worth mastering.